underlying issue about taxation is the fact that every income-making citizen pays a percentage of his income to government for development purposes. The government, therefore, gives powers to its tax collecting agency to collect such payments. This is where the Ondo State Internal Revenue Service, ODIRS, draws its legitimacy. In view of this, ODIRS is operating within the revenue laws of the state to collect tax revenues, bring appropriate income earners into tax payment platforms, keep eyes on their payment responses, and enforce compliance when necessary. These are what the innovative men and women at the Revenue House under the able leadership of ODIRS Executive Chairman, Mr. OLUWAGBEMIGUN, are doing. Welcome to Pay Your Tax. My name is Tayelulu Oladuti. On this edition of Pay Your Tax, we shall focus on spreading the operational capacity of consumption tax. You will meet my guest in a moment. Do stay with us.
My name is OLUWAGBEMIGUN, Executive Chairman, Ondo State Internal Revenue Service. I want to thank the good people of Ondo State for paying your tax, and I want to encourage those who are not paying to pay their taxes. Schools are being renovated, new ones are being built, we have new hospitals being built, we have plans to do even more infrastructure, we have industries coming into the states, and then of course we have the roads that we can all see. These taxes are being used for things that will benefit the people of Ondo State. I want to thank you all, and I can assure you that in Ondo State Internal Revenue Service, we continue to make the tax payment process very easy, very convenient, and very smooth for everyone. Thank you for paying your tax. God bless us all.
We are glad to have you today on Pay Your Tax program. Princess PAMELA OLUWAGBEMIGUN. She is the head of consumption tax in Ondo State Internal Revenue Service. Hello and welcome.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. I'm fine, thank you.
You're welcome. Quite a number of issues were raised in our intro, and one of such of the question is taxation is targeted at the incomes of citizens. What is your comment about this?
Tax generally is targeted at income of citizens, as you rightly said, because if you're not earning any income, you're not meant to pay tax. If you do not have a job, if you do not have a business, the government would not ask you to pay tax. Tax is the duty of every income earning citizen to pay to the government to help development. So yes, tax is targeted at the income of people, of its citizens, because if you don't earn an income, you invariably are not supposed to pay tax.
Even those that are hawking, are they supposed to pay tax too?
Yes, they are under the presumptive tax regime. There's a basic tax for them at the end of every year. Very, very, very little.
We also mentioned some rules in ODIRS in the tax revenue collection process of government. Okay. We want you to enlighten us more.
The ODIRS is the body charged with the collection of taxes. I mean, the government is divided, has various arms. But the ODIRS core responsibility is to help the government in the collection and administration of the tax processes. Now, there are various aspects to this, which includes collecting, monitoring the payments, and keeping tabs on all of those payments from the citizens and business owners.
Okay, Princess, consumption tax implementation took off in a pilot form in those states sometimes last year. How would you describe responses of operators within the hospitality industry in the States? We're talking about the hoteliers now.
Yes. Consumption tax took off last year, like you said, and we piloted in Akure. The response has been very, very encouraging. The turnout for payment, for registration, people understood, they keyed into it on time because they understood that it was part of their responsibility to pay the consumption tax. They went through the process of registration, they collected their certificates of registration, which makes them part of the pool of the people collecting and paying consumption tax in Ondo State.
Okay.
Because this consumption tax actually is not paid directly by the hoteliers or the event centers or the restaurateurs or the bar owners or lounges. Consumption tax is collected from the consumer. Now, these hoteliers only help the government in collecting and then remitting same to the government.
Okay. Initially, some people wanted to confuse value-added tax, which is VAT, with consumption tax. They are two different things now. So can we effectively say each is now well understood?
Oh, sure. In the beginning, yes, there was confusion. And a lot of people thought, oh, we're paying VAT already. Why do we have to pay consumption tax? They are different. And through our sensitization and enlightenment processes and procedures, we were able to differentiate both, and they understand perfectly. VAT is paid to the federal, FIRS. Consumption tax is paid to the states. VAT is 7.5% of your net. Consumption tax is on gross. Because take for instance, a room is charged, the charge for a room in a hotel is 20,000 naira. You are to add 5% of that 20,000 naira to the original 20,000 naira and collect same. Which means when you're to collect from your customer, from the lodger, you are originally meant to collect 21,000 naira. 1,000 naira, which is 5% of that 20,000 naira, is what you remit. So we're not, the government is not asking you to touch your original 20,000 naira. It's yours. But charge that extra 5% and remit same to the government at the end of the month, which is what they now understand.
Oh, that's good. People now understand the difference between value-added tax and the consumption tax.
Sure, they do.
Let's go on a short break, and when we return, we'll bring you more questions. Princess is still around. Don't walk away.
Hooray! Payment of taxes and rates is now made easier and simpler in Ondo State through the Ondo State Internal Revenue Service. One-stop shop model taxations in 2 different locations in Akure State Capital. Visit Oyemekun Tax Station within the premises of Wema Bank PLC on Oyemekun Road, Akure, or visit Alagbaka Tax Station within the premises of UBA PLC, Alagbaka, Akure, to pay your taxes and rates into Ondo State designated revenue accounts without any stress. For further inquiries, call the following number: 0188397000 or 09284770004, or send WhatsApp messages to this number 08104864804. Contact us at ODIRS.ng or info@ODIRS.ng. Also, chairman at ODIRS.ng. Our website is www.odirs.ng. Pay your tax as tax brings development. Ondo State Internal Revenue Service announcer.
Now, on the consumption tax, I'm very excited about it. We were supposed to start in 2020, we couldn't start. Eventually, we started very late in 2021 because the hoteliers were still, let's delay. Even though there was no basis for it, there was no COVID anymore. I mean, everyone was going about their duties. But we eventually started in October 2021. And honestly, initially, and then because of the VAT controversy, we are charging VAT, now consumption tax has come, the issue needs to be resolved and all of that. So we went into it. We were able to register a lot of people, a lot of hotels, and then people started paying and remitting. And we're still registering people, we're still ensuring compliance, forcing people to pay. But what has surprised me the most is the income that we've been able to make from that consumption tax in such a short time. I don't want to disclose the figures, but honestly, it's amazing. Maybe because of the staff that are there now, that are running the show, the law that's on our side, the advocacy, this VAT controversy also made people, aware that there's something like consumption tax and all of that. And that is one area that I'm looking forward to in 2022, to be a major revenue earner for government, given what we've been able to do in October, November, December You know, it's amazing. A lot of the hotels have complied, especially in Akure. The event centers too have complied. The people who have not complied, we've said, let's go to court. You know, it's clear. We educate them. Most of them say, okay, you don't want to go to court anymore. It's clear to us now the difference between VAT and consumption tax. Because the fact of the matter is this: VAT is a value-added tax that you pay on almost all the goods, except those ones that were specifically exempted by the value-added tax law. However, hotel consumption tax, it's a luxury tax. It's a tax targeted only at consumptions in hotels. It's a lifestyle tax. VAT cuts across board. Hotel consumption is a lifestyle tax. A bottle of water buy from a shop by the roadside, they probably sell 150. The same bottle of water, buy in all these upscale hotel, they sell at 500. What has changed? Nothing. And people will still buy it. So it means we can afford it, so we buy it, they pay more. So if you can pay more for that bottle of water, you can pay that extra tax that you're using to fund the lifestyle. So consumption tax is a lifestyle tax. Not everybody sleeps in a hotel. There are people who will say, oh, I'm going to my hometown, I will sleep with my brother, I will sleep with my sister, I will sleep with my cousin. But as some people will say, I'm going to my hometown, my father has a house, I will not sleep there. I will still sleep in a hotel. So the choice to sleep in a hotel is yours. It's a lifestyle. I'm too big to sleep in my father's house. I want to sleep in a fancy hotel. So it will tax you for that. It happens like that all over the world. So there's a whole lot of difference. So people confuse it to say, oh, it's double taxation. The VAT cuts across board. The hotel consumption tax is a lifestyle luxury tax. Because if you don't patronize the hotel, if you are not buying Coke at 500 naira that they are selling at 150 outside, why should you pay? Nothing. You don't pay. So we're able to explain all this to people, and they bought into it, and here we are. So I believe we've not done badly. We're just started, but the signs are very encouraging.
Glad to have you back and still watching our Pay Your Tax. We were talking about the spreading the operational capacity of consumption tax in Ondo State, and we have a guest in the house that is talking, that we are talking to and explaining more about the tax payment in Ondo State. Princess, recently you embarked on a tour of your offices to hotels, event centers across the states. May we know what you told the operators of the hospitality industry you met with? So maybe we should start from the northern senatorial district, which is Owo and Akoko.
Okay, so last year we started from Akure, and then towards the end of the year we decided to expand our tentacles. Okay. We went to Owo, carried out sensitization. Now in Owo, Ikare, Akoko, Oka, Akoko and its environs, we met with these hoteliers. We met with their hotel association leaders as well, and we had quite an interesting conversation. We talked in details, we enlightened them, we sensitized them, we told them more about consumption tax. And the good thing is that most of them were already aware of it. So it was because they've heard our adverts and jingles on radio when we started from Akure. So it wasn't like a totally new thing to them. So it was easy to discuss with them, and they bought into it, they keyed into it. A lot of them went ahead, picked up their registration forms, registered, got their certificates, and they started the payments almost immediately. So far, they are aware of the consumption tax in Owo and the rest of the northern senatorial district.
So what about the central senatorial district, which is Akure and Ondo?
Oh, Akure, we're good. We're sailing smoothly in Akure.
Okay.
Ondo town as well. We're sailing smoothly in Ondo town. Idori area, we're about to get deep into them because they have already also started collecting their registration. In fact, across the state, they've all started collecting their registration forms. They are keen into the consumption tax.
And what's the reception at the south? That's Ore, Udigbo,
We also visited Ore Odigbo earlier this year.
So what's the reception like?
They have also keyed into it. I mean, most of them have their registration forms. They have been calling to return it and to start making their payments. So basically what we're doing is we have sensitized them. So across the state, everyone, every hotelier, event center operator, bar owner, lounge, these are the people in the hospitality industry that consumption tax is targeted at. They are all aware. They are mostly aware.
After all this series of sensitization and enlightenment visits to the 3 senatorial districts of the state, what do you expect from the hoteliers and event center managers across the state?
Compliance. All I expect is compliance. The state expects compliance.
As in payment as at when due?
Payment as at when due, collection and remittance. It's all we expect from them. And so far, they have been, encouraging. So
it is not out of place to envisage non-compliance by some of these people.
Sure.
So what are you likely to do to ensure full compliance?
Just like most taxes, people do not want to pay.
Okay.
So we're always going to go ahead and, encourage them, tell them about it again, just in case they forgot. We go back, we remind them. We send letters of reminders. But if we now see that there is an intentional need to not comply, the ODIRS will go and take the route of sending them an assessment, a demand notice, a non-compliance notice, an assessment called the best of judgment, because we assume for you, since you do not come forward with the right figures and the right payments, we can assume for you, which is what the best of judgment
so
is.
You take the appropriate measure for them to pay.
We take the appropriate measures and do a calculation and an assumption for you based on what we know that you are capable
of paying. Okay.
And then we serve you an assessment. When we serve you an assessment, and you're given a time to pay, maybe 7 days or 2 weeks, you're expected to come forward to the office and make your payment.
And if there's no compliance?
And if you do not come forward to make your payment within that period, the ODIRS can go as far as taking you to court. And, you do not like that. People do not like that. So it's always easy to just comply instead of going that route.
Princess OLUWAGBEMIGUN, let us look at the capacity of ODIRS staff across your tax stations in the state. How are they driving the consumption tax?
Oh, everybody is aware of the consumption tax. All hands are on deck. When it comes to ODIRS, there's synergy, there's cooperation, there's synergy among the departments. So whenever anybody from any of these cities, the Northern Senatorial District, Ikare, or Kakoko, Ondo, Owo, there's always a staff in our offices across these local governments, across all our offices in the state. There's always a staff ready to attend to you. So anybody can walk into any of our offices and say, oh, I'm here to pay consumption tax, and you will be attended to. Or I need more clarification on consumption tax, you will be attended to. So our staff are well equipped. They are well knowledgeable on the topic.
And when trained?
They are well trained.
Okay.
I mean, training happens every other day in ODIRS. Tailored training to specific needs. So they are well trained. We are all well trained here.
Okay. So what do you tell the new entrants into hospitality industry?
The first step is to know that taxation is law. When you know that taxation is law and that you cannot run away from the law, it's easy for you. As a new entrant into the hospitality industry, there is what we call the consumption tax. The consumption tax is a luxury tax charged to the consumer that you are supposed to collect. So first step is to know that you will collect this consumption tax, you will remit it to the government. So it is expected of you, the new entrants into the hospitality industry, you are building a hotel, you're opening a restaurant, you're opening an event center, a bar, a club, a nightclub, a cafe. Come to any of the ODIRS office across the state to collect your registration form. That is the first step.
Okay.
And then when you come to do that, you'll be sensitized. You will we'll pick your contact, we will discuss with you. If you want us to come to your office to also discuss with you, we're always available. We will come there, we will discuss with you, we'll discuss with your staff, we will train them, we'll tell them how to go about it, how to collect, and then how to remit. So the first step is to register. Once you register, we take it from there.
All right. We'd like to go on a short break again, and when we come back, we'll continue with the program. Please stay with us.
I am Professor Murtala Awodun, the immediate past chairman of the Kwara State Internal Revenue Service, a professor of business and entrepreneurship, and a tax consultant. I am here at the Ondo State Internal Revenue Service, and I'm happy with what I have seen, the environment of tax administration here, the staff, and the ambience of tax administration is a reflection of what tax administration should be in Nigeria. The conduciveness of the working environment, is something that will make everybody want to come in here and pay their taxes. And those who are also employed, to collect the taxes are happy doing the job because of the facilities that are made available to them. So I want to commend the Ondo State Internal Revenue Service Management for a job well done. Thank you.
Can make payment into our special IGR account if he does not want to visit the bank. We have two accounts. We have one with the Wema Bank, then another one with the Providence Bank. For the account number of the Wema Bank is 1022778661, and that of the Providence is 1400372139. So payments can be made into any of those accounts. Once you make the payment, you either call us or you can send us a mail that you have made a payment. Then once we receive the payment, we process and we send your electronic receipt back to you.
Finally, a big relief is here for taxpayers in Ondo State. Without an express payment of all taxes, charges, fees, and fines are now made easier through the banks approved by the Ondo State Internal Revenue Service. Access Bank, First Bank, Polaris Bank, Union Bank, UBA, Wema Bank, Unity Bank, and Zenith Bank. Others are Stanbic IBTC, Kickstone, Guaranteed Trust Bank, Fidelity Bank, FCMB, EcoBank, and Sterling Bank. Pay to the banks directly. Don't give your cash to anyone. For further inquiries, call the following numbers: 0188397000 or 09284770004, or send WhatsApp messages to this number 08104864804. Contact us at ODIRS.ng or info@ODIRS.ng. Also, chairman at ODIRS.ng. Our website is www.odirs.ng. Pay your tax as tax brings development. Ondo State Internal Revenue Service announcer.
I want to believe that you are enjoying the program with Princess. Let us go on with the program. In view of the empirical evidences of telling performances by the Arakuri OLUWAGBEMIGUN SAN administration across the state, how would you appeal to taxable adults on tax payments?
For taxable adults on tax payments, like I said earlier, tax is law. Once you know that the law is bound, you're bound by the law in your society, you would know that taxation is law. It's not something that is government specific. You will pay it regardless of if it is Arakuri Akeredolu or not. You will pay your tax, and the earlier you get to knowing that, the better. It is a must.
It is a must.
So, and the good thing about paying tax in Arakuri Akeredolu's administration is that the taxes and the evidences of the tax payment is visible. We have better roads, we have better equipped hospitals, we have better schools, we have better amenities. There is water, we have better things. The administration goes a long way to make sure that we use, that the tax collected from the citizens is put back into the society.
Dear viewer, we are done with this weekly edition of Pay Your Tax. We thank the head of consumption tax in Ondo State, Internal Revenue Service, Princess PAMELA OLUWAGBEMIGUN.
Thank you very much
We
for having
appreciate
me.
you for being with us today on the program.
Thank you very much.
Next week, by His grace, we will be back again. So stay with us, same time, same station. On behalf of the executive producer, Tolu Adegbie, my name is Taye Lulu Oladuti. God bless you. God bless ODIRS. God bless Ondo State. God bless Nigeria. And don't forget, pay your tax. Bye for now.